All right, hey everybody, this is Andy Hagelshaw, Communications Director for the Art Directors Guild IATSE Local 800. I'm here at Comic-Con 2024 with Howard Cummings and Thang Lee. Howard's a production designer. Thang is the concept illustrator for Fallout, one of the 3 shows that was featured in our Art Directors Guild panel this afternoon, which is Video Games Go Hollywood. And what do you guys think? Is this the first time you've been at Comic-Con, or have you been here before?
I've been here for since I was a kid, so the mid '90s. So this is my 30th year.
All right. How about you, Howard?
This is my second Comic-Con. I was here for, I came for a panel for Westworld the last time around. That was a while ago, but yeah. But Thang's like a total Comic-Con nerd.
Yeah, exactly.
So all the years you've been here, Thang, you must have seen some interesting costumes. What's like something you've seen that you really sticks out in your mind?
A few years ago, probably a decade, there was a small child that jumped onto a mech, and the mech turned around, and it was his dad. It was Mojo Jojo from Powerpuff Girls, and it was amazing, and it won an award. But unfortunately, it went late, so the dad had to go up and get it by himself because it was past his bedtime.
Past the kid's bedtime. Got it. Well, your guys.
Didn't you meet someone here that got you into illustrating?
Oh yeah. Back in the day, when I was a kid, I saw a presentation on The Crow, and the production designer Alex McDowell was giving talking about it, and that's how I found out about not ADG but filmmaking and whatnot, and that's what kind of
concept illustration was an actual job that you could do,
and that kind of led into this whole thing, and now I'm here.
That's amazing. And then earlier today, you guys were doing portfolio reviews, so meeting potentially people that were just starting out and maybe thinking about careers, right?
That was great because you could, you've seen people who aren't necessarily, film people, but you can see in their work that they could be and what they could do. Like we saw one guy who was great, black and white sketch artist who thought would be excellent storyboard kind of person and stuff like it was. So that was fun and exciting to see that kind of work.
That's awesome. And then this afternoon, you guys were part of the panel, which the room was full. It was packed, which was great to see. What were some of the challenges working with a medium that was so well known and part of popular culture already as a video game, and then having to turn it into a series production? That must have been have some challenges and also some exciting things about it too, right?
Howard?
I think the biggest thing, Fallout is so detailed and rich and has a big backstory that the biggest problem is just trying to do it. And so and in the beginning I kept going, I'm not sure, maybe we should redesign some of this goofy stuff. It's also kind of goofy, at a sense of humor. I read the script, and actually the script was so close to the sort of the feeling of the show, and it hit the right kind of absurdist humor and stuff. And I said, no, the thing we have to do is actually do the game. Which freaked me out because I knew how much work it was. Right. And then I had to explain to everybody how much work it was. And so, but it was awesome. And when we started out, we weren't sure, for instance, Bethesda, whether they were going to play ball or how that was going to work. But Thang, in the beginning, I said, hey, we have to make this power armor right now because they want a real suit, and he had to model it off of internet stuff. But then later on they realized, oh wow, you're doing the game. I said, yeah, and so we had this great relationship with them where they just helped. And they didn't dictate, and that was awesome because we were doing new stuff and we didn't do stuff that was exactly the game. So that was awesome. That was great. It was really creative in that way.
Yeah, I would just say interpreting video games is tough because they're limited by resolution, and when we get it, we have to sometimes, is this meant to be a circle or is it meant to be a hexagon? So those are some of the decisions Howard has to make.
Well, and then mechanically make things that theoretically work,
Right.
As opposed to, and actually part of Thang's job was to do that as well. So
figuring out how they bend the arm,
how you actually do move in a suit of armor, and actually do it. But they actually, the design's interesting enough. Could do it. You just had to figure it out. So so they must have thought about that somewhat as well. So.
What did your guys' research entail? Did you actually play the game, or did you research like fan comments, or like you must have done a bunch of stuff to research it?
YouTube is a great tool, but also playing the game. It's a game, so we can download it on Steam and walk through. And
Yeah, in the beginning, Tang knew a lot about the game, and actually, I think it's changed over.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, because Howard, what this is, I'd say, Tang, what is this? And he'd tell me, and I said, this would make a cool elevator. And he goes, that's a mutant cryo chamber. And I go, oh, yeah, and actually, I said, I kind of still like it. It's better. Their normal elevator's boring, and so you'll see that stuff like that. But then I began panic because it was like I was pulling stuff I didn't understand from the game. But we had great research people, and it was a lot of help. So.
It must have been.
And then trying to make it filmic, the director I was working with, Jonathan Nolan, he was going, we're shooting it on film, and we're shooting it like a Western, and which is, for a video game, is an interesting choice, but that helped a lot, I think, give it a real look and stuff. So
It seems to me like another challenge might be be putting limits on what could be a limitless universe, because there's so many scenes and so many environments you guys were working with, and creating it potentially endless, right? So that must have been a challenge too.
Yeah, it was frightening. It was like, oh wow, and then it was like, okay, how do you do giant wastelands and stuff like that? But and how do you make it feel real? And well, the answer is go to a real place. So we packed our stuff up and went to Namibia and shot in Africa, and went up to Utah and shot in the Bonneville Salt Flats, and giving it. Instead of doing it all digitally, we could have done it in a stage called the Volume, where you have digital stuff. But we used enough real stuff, because we did use the Volume as well, to make the Volume stuff feel real too. It was like a trade-off. Like, when do you fake it and when do you not fake it? We're choices that make the game come alive.
Right, absolutely. There can't not be
I'm working on season 2 now, and the costume designer came in and somebody else, and I have a picture behind my desk of the power armor, on a location picture, standing next to Ella Purnell, who's a star, who's like, she's about this tall, and the power armor's about this tall, and they're standing in the Namibian desert with somebody's holding a big umbrella over them, and the assistant costume designer said, "That was real?" And I go, "Yes." And she goes, she said, "This is a set photo?" I go, "Yes." Wow. And it was like, and it's just impressive when you actually see it. And she said, "I never thought that you would do that." And we said, "No, we did. We are crazy enough to do stuff like that." So.
Oh my God. I was just about to ask, there's got to be a season 2, because it was such a good show.
We're working on it now. First person I hired. Literally. So it's great. It was like, okay, we're doing it again, so it's awesome. So
well, fantastic. Well, thank you guys for your time, and thanks for your participation in helping make Comic-Con 2024 a little bit better and a little bit more exciting for everybody.
We hope so.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
We met some great people. Some of the fans brought us little gifts. I couldn't believe it. It was amazing. I was super impressed, but it's fun. Yeah.
Had a great time.
This is a Fallout. Our Fallout jester. Yes. Yes. Thumbs up.